Good morning. Welcome to Village in Motion. Today is Tuesday, November 20th, 2018, and we thank you for your patience. We had a few challenges here this morning, but everybody's here and in place, and we're ready to go. And thank you for enjoying the musical interlude that we had this morning. Certainly enjoyable. And we're here with a group from Garden Ridge this morning. Donna Epps. And Donna, you are the director of Garden Ridge, and you've brought visitors with you.
Yes, I certainly have. As many of you know, I transitioned over to Garden Ridge in July of 2018 of this year. And we had some other vacancies while I'm there. So we had two assistant administrator position opened, and I am pleased to introduce our two new assistant administrators for continuing care.
Wonderful.
One is new to our community and one is not. So I would like to reintroduce Karen Hall, who has been with our community for quite some time in different roles. So Karen, if you can talk a little bit about your transition period.
Sure.
Okay, Karen, hi.
Awesome. Good morning. So I started with Greenspring about 4 years ago almost, and when I came in, I was the rehab manager here. And shortly thereafter, I entered the AIT program, which is the Administrator and Training Program, working towards achieving and receiving my nursing home administrator license here in the state of Virginia. So that was a great program that I was involved in, and during the course of that program, Donna transitioned to Garden Ridge from the resident life director position over to Garden Ridge to be the director of continuing care. And I was asked if I would assume the role of interim resident life director in the meantime. And so I've been in the interim resident life director position since Donna transitioned back in July. And it's been such a great opportunity. And so my AIT program ended in October. And
so you received that certification?
I am in the process of getting my official licensure, but I did complete the program so that I completed all of my requirements to be able to get that licensure.
Wonderful.
So now I am going to be transitioning now to Garden Ridge, which was my first home when I started at Greenspring as the assistant administrator.
Good. I know you're happy to have her.
I am delighted.
Yeah. What is your background before you came to Greenspring?
So I received my doctorate in physical therapy almost 10 years ago. So I've been a physical therapist for many years and love rehab. That's my first love, but I enjoy just serving and working with the senior population.
So you'll bring lots of good skills and good background. That's terrific.
Thank you.
And as well, I'll ask another question once we meet our second assistant administrator.
Yes, and our second assistant administrator is actually new to the Erickson family. So I would like to introduce Hope Nevins.
Hi, Hope.
And she will tell you something about her background, which is ironically similar to Karen's.
Okay, that's a good thing.
Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you again for the opportunity to speak and be here. As mentioned, my background is very similar to that of Karen. I actually came from a rehab background as well. I was coming originally from Virginia, and then I transitioned to Maryland. Mm-hmm. I do have my license to practice as a nursing home administrator in the state of Maryland, and I actually manage a 63-bed facility there.
Wonderful.
So lots of exposure, great experience, and so I most certainly welcome the opportunity to work in the capacity with Donna and Karen as the assistant administrator over at Garden Ridge.
What a wonderful team. You're ready to roll.
We are, absolutely.
That's terrific. Now, for both of you, or for Hope, what is your background before you started in nursing homes? You were in rehab?
Correct. My background is in rehab. I worked primarily in long-term care environment, so skilled nursing. I did have a little exposure in outpatient rehab as well as home health environment. So I've kind of sort of been able to dabble in a lot of just the senior populations and kind of get exposure to that.
Good. That's terrific. Great team. Good.
Yes, I am very excited because, as you know, we have our big
you have a lot of things
going on. Yes, so we are set to move our first residents into our brand new wing, Dogwood Commons, at the beginning of January.
Now, the first residents who move in will be existing Greenspring residents.
Yes.
Who will be moving from another part of Garden Ridge into Dogwood Commons.
Yes, absolutely. And we have a huge phasing plan that really lasts through the first quarter in 2021. But on January 7th and 8th, we will be moving 26 residents from our memory care unit who currently reside on EV3, and they will be moving into Dogwood Commons 4. In the new building, the 4th floor will be all memory care, and the other 3 floors will be assisted living. But what I want people to understand in the community at large is that we are going to be renovating the entire Garden Ridge. So as we move residents into Dogwood Commons, their existing spaces are going to be renovated as well. So we have a very intricate plan of when people move, when the existing, resident rooms, office spaces, and amenity spaces get renovated.
I think a lot of people don't understand, Donna. We're adding this whole big building, yet we're only having 17 additional beds. Why is that?
That is correct, because we are taking some of our existing rooms, so we're taking 3 rooms and making them 2 rooms so that people can have larger living spaces.
And that is because that's what the market is demanding right now. That's what people want.
Yes, absolutely. And we are also going to be transitioning in line with where the industry is going. At the end, we'll have fewer long-term care and skilled beds and more assisted living and memory care beds.
And again, that's what the market is right now. That's what people are needing.
Yes. And so very soon, I believe the first week in December, people will be able to get their first look. I know the staff here at the TV station, as well as our marketing and admission staff, have been working on a wonderful virtual tour of the new building.
Oh, that'll be exciting.
Yes, so look for that. And then we're also going to have some live get a glimpse tours as well later on in December.
Now I know that we're waiting for some other inspections of the building. Talk to us about the importance of those inspections. Those inspections really do have a purpose in terms of making sure that our residences there are safe and following all the guidelines, et cetera, et cetera. Can you explain a little bit what happens?
Yes, absolutely. Because it is a new construction project, we could not get our use and occupancy to begin using the building even for training until we got all of the proper inspections completed. And so we did that with the county. We've had use and occupancy for about 30 days now. And so we are planning on training staff that have been able to go and see what their space is going to be, but we could not do any of that without use and occupancy. We're also working with the Department of Social Services that oversees the assisted living licensure as well. So that inspector had to come out, measure rooms, make sure that there was adequate space according to the assisted living
the state guidelines.
Yes, absolutely. So that's why we delayed moving the first residents until the first of the year, because sometimes you can't predict how those timelines will go. We also have a dedicated project manager, Greg Porter, who solely works with this project, and he's been working with the county officials, with our corporate partners, and with the contractors to make sure that everything is done and completed, because we've had to go through and do walkthroughs of the space to make sure not only did they meet the regulatory requirements, but to make sure that everything that we have required from our contractors has been completed and completed up to our standards.
And all of this seems like a lot of red tape, but it's all for the safety and security of the residents who will live there.
Absolutely, and for the staff who work there as well.
Right.
Absolutely, yes.
So it's all time well spent.
Yes, it is.
Yes, right. What else do you want to tell us about what's happening at Garden Ridge right now? as if that isn't enough.
Well, I'm telling you, just trying to orient these two assistant administrators, but also because of their backgrounds and experience, they have been able to jump right in.
Oh, good.
And get some things done. We're actually getting ready for the holiday, and Garden Ridge has, their big holiday celebration in the middle of November.
Good.
And just working with our community partners. We have a wonderful ambassador program, and we have a wonderful
What is the ambassador program? I haven't talked about that with you. We just have a couple of minutes, but can you give us a quickie description of that?
Yes, well, that is a group of independent living residents who come over to Garden Ridge and they volunteer, and we have some that help residents who have just moved in from independent living to get adjusted. We have some who do, regular visits with our Garden Ridge residents as well, and so they provide, great support for our residents who live in Garden Ridge, and it also serves as a bridge between independent living and with the residents in Garden Ridge.
They're also really good in terms of being knowledgeable people about Garden Ridge, in terms of if someone comes along and said, well, I heard that Garden Ridge place is just blah, 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 and they're kind of people who you keep educated in terms of being able to say, no, that's not quite right. This is what Garden Ridge is really like, and this is what a wonderful place it is, and feel free to come over and we can give you a tour sometime.
Yes, and we do invite people to please come and tour. One of the unique things about Garden Ridge is that we have a wonderful programming team, and I actually had an independent living resident give me a wonderful compliment about that team, because not only do they do programming within the walls of Garden Ridge, they frequently on a weekly basis take residents outside of the community, and they also engage in activities within the community. They go to restaurants. We're planning a tea at the Ritz-Carlton for 10 residents.
Wonderful.
So we do lots of things, and actually this past weekend when we had our night on the town, many people thought that Garden Ridge was one of the very best venues.
I heard it was wonderful.
Yes, it was.
Yes, and that everyone had a good time.
Yes, so we are quite active in Garden Ridge.
That's good. And of course, you can always use volunteers.
Yes, we can.
Good. Ladies, thank you for joining us this morning, and we're happy you're here. I'm sure Donna is thrilled that you're here, and everyone will look forward to talking with you in the future. Thank you for joining us.